85% of people never read a book after graduating from high school. 75% of people never read a book ever lifetime. And 50% of Americans have not read a new book in the last 12 months. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Arif Gilany. Thank you and welcome to the Ministry of Miracles. I know life is tough. You don't have time, you don't have the resources, perhaps you can't even get the book. So I have great news for you. I'm going to read the entire book on video series, and we're going to put it on this video channel, and I hope you subscribe. As I read through the book, I know you will realize the reason I am doing this. And I'm doing this to help you create circumstances that you can control. In other words, I want to help you create miracles in your life. So as I start out, I wanted to start with a story, an ancient story that is not in the book, but I've learned ever since. And that's the ancient story of talents. They say that there was a master who had 3 servants. And one day, the master summoned his servants and he said that I am planning to go on a long trip. And he gave each of the servants 1 talent, and he said, I want you to go and use these talents by the time I come back, and I wanted to know what you do with your talents. So he left on his journey. 6 months, 12 months, 9 months later, he came back and summoned his servants to see. The first servant came back. What have you done? He says, I took my talents and I buried the ground and I put it in there. And it's safe. I knew that you would come back, so I went and I dug it up, and here it is, 1 talent. He says, okay. And then he asked the second servant, what have you done with your talent? He says, well, I went out in the marketplace. I went out in the city and I said, I have 1 talent, which was the measure of gold in those days, and I want to lend that to anybody who wants to borrow the talent to double my money in 9 months. I found a lot of people were interested. I found the most trustworthy person. I lent them the talent, and here now we have 2 talents. He said, that's a great job. Third servant comes up and he says, what did you do with your talents? And he says, here, how much do you have first? He says, I have 10 talents. How did you do that? He says, I went to the marketplace. I tried to buy something and sell it for a little profit. I had a lot of struggles in the beginning, but after a while I got things going, and by the time you come back in 9 months, I have 10 talents. He said, the first servant, take the talent and give it to the third servant, who already had 10 talents. The God, the Creator, the higher force gives us all talents. What we do with them in this lifetime, ladies and gentlemen, it's our own responsibilities. I have done a lot of research in the area of the mind, the creative thinking. So we're going to start the Ministry of Miracles, the art of creative thinking. And I hope by the end of this book, you're going to realize the God-given talents that you have and utilize them to create miracles in your own life. So I'm going to start out here just going through the book. If it's Canada, if you're a Canadian, it's winter, it's snowing out there. It's time to have a comfortable pair of camel socks, which is also one of our products. Put them on. These are called your reading socks. Since you're not reading and you're watching, you can call them watching socks, but you can sit down and watch. Perhaps grab yourself a piece of chocolate, a little bit of water, and get some listening and watching going. We're turning this book and my first book into a docudrama. This video recording is going to be the basis for that docudrama. So welcome again, and let's start out. The Ministry of Miracles, a complete guide to developing your creative thinking. Learning is consciously entertaining an idea, getting emotionally involved with the idea, and stepping out to act on the idea to change results. We want to help you change your results in 2023. That is really why I'm recording this and making it available to you for free. You don't have to read the book, but you can start by subscribing to this channel and then learning with me on a weekly basis as I go through the lectures from my book. So I have an acknowledgement, just like anything else. I want to end with this acknowledgement because gratitude is the first step. The first step to opening up the gate to miracles is to be grateful. And I'm grateful, and I wanted to acknowledge the following people. On the next video, we're going to start reading from the book, starting from chapter 1 and then all the way to chapter 13, where we talk about how you can shift your paradigm. All the previous 3 videos we have talked about shifting and changing your paradigm. In this video, I just wanted to let you know that my expectation for you by end of this video series is that you have the ability to create miracles in your own life. Thank you and welcome.